So as you all know by now, yesterday a Nintendo Direct dropped, and it opened with a new Pikmin 4 trailer. So today I've decided to take a quick look at it and give my thoughts on it. Right off the bat, the trailer opens with a ship flying out of what looks like some kind of portal, which might just be some kind of light speed thing, and it flies down to the planet. In a couple opening shots we can see a fiery blowhog returning, as well as some sort of Snagret chick enemy that I'm super excited to see some more about. In the distance from the starting area, we can see an obstacle that's some sort of branch pulling thing that you need a bunch of Pikmin for. There's only one way to go from where the pod lands, which is very interesting, and I'd like to see how that tutorial sort of plays out. When we see the onion, it looks a lot more different than we've ever seen it before. It's lost its sort of sleek, metallic, artificial design in favor of a more flowery look, I suppose. It seems to have different petals, signifying each Pikmin color inside of it, which leads me to believe that they've brought back the onion merging mechanic from Pikmin 3, which I really appreciate because that was really cool. We can of course see yellow, red, and blue Pikmin returning, which we already knew from the first trailer. In a later shot we see 4 captains, which makes sense because the title of the game is 4, and the number of captains in each game has matched the number in the title, in pretty much every game in the series. The captains here seem to look like Copites. They don't have the same sort of oblong-shaped head as the Hogatations seem to. The areas here of course look bigger, and we can see this in quite a few shots exploring around the map. In just this opening area we see new enemies and new obstacles, like bigger walls that drop some sort of strange blue gem that I'd like to see some more about in a later trailer. There are of course those branch-pulling obstacles that I mentioned earlier, and there seemed to be some sort of climbing wall. There were 8 segments in this wall, which leads me to believe that you will need to gather some different parts and construct the wall so you can climb up to higher areas. At the top of this, we see another new enemy that seems to be some kind of weird little Hey Pikmin looking guy. It definitely wasn't in Hey Pikmin, but it does look like something that would be in the game. My prediction is that it's some sort of airy blowhog, perhaps one that can suck in your Pikmin and maybe spit them out. We also see that in a later shot, tile bridges return in the background, which I like a lot since tile bridges were really cool. Now it's time to address the elephant in the room with the ice Pikmin. Right off the bat, we can see a few of these guys' abilities. They can freeze enemies when eaten, which a lot of the fandom predicted, but they can also freeze water. These water freezing mechanics worried me for a second because I was worried that blue Pikmin would start to become obsolete. But then I thought on it a little bit. Upon analyzing the trailer further, it seemed that the ice Pikmin remained stuck in the ice, so as long as they were in there, you could walk on the water. But if you, say, called them back or plucked them, then the ice would unfreeze gradually or at once, and you would not be able to walk over it again. It also seems that you wouldn't be able to get underwater treasures with either of the new ways to traverse water in this game, which means that blue Pikmin do definitely still have some uses. We see treasures return with a pair of binoculars, which may or may not have some kind of story implication or give you some kind of new ability, but for now it's just a pair of binoculars. Then we see this silly little dog dude. Its name is Otachi, as we find out later, and it's able to break some sort of pot obstacle and is able to carry things back to the onion or the ship. We see it carry a Bulborb here on its own, which means it has a carrying strength of 10. It can also carry you and your Pikmin, and I don't think you can use the Pikmin that you're carrying, but maybe if there are Pikmin in your party that aren't on Otachi's back, then you might be able to use them. Otachi can also cross water and seemingly be brought into caves, which I would like to touch on too. But real quick, I wanted to briefly mention that it doesn't seem like Otachi can carry things back from the water, which means blue Pikmin are still useful there. We also didn't see any water that was super deep that I noticed, but I hope that they bring that back because that was a really cool part of 3. Now it's time to address the other elephant in the room, one that some people might enjoy and some people might not. I personally am super excited for the inclusion of caves in this game. It looks like they've expanded it a bunch from Pikmin 2, which I'm really excited about. Pikmin 2's caves were fun, but really kind of linear and random and hard, and there were like just enemies and treasures and that's it. But it seems like there's a lot more in these caves. There's a line saying, "We found a castaway in this cave," and another line saying, "Good job, Otachi, you sniffed out a castaway," or something like that, which leads me to believe that there's some kind of story going on here with a number of people, either Copites or Hogatations, being stranded on PNF 404. In this same segment, we see that there's some sort of new Arachnord boss that has some sort of glowing light all over it, and it's much bigger than any we've seen. even bigger than the Raging Longlegs. It seems to be able to poison Pikmin in the same way the Behemoth Fozbat can, which leads me to believe that whites may not be returning in this game. We also see they brought back the Empress Blacks, and whoopsies, Bulborb larvae are here too. This is not something I'm super excited about. I really enjoy fighting the Empress Blacks, and I think if they just brought it back without the stupid infant Bulborbs, then I think we would have been fine, but since these things seem to take the same amount of time as they did in 2 to eat your Pikmin, I'm not super stoked to fight this thing. From there, that's pretty much all the trailer, but it fades back from black to show us a shot of the main area during the night. It gives us a shot of a Bulborb, which it zooms in on, and the Bulborb's eyes turn red and it starts stomping around the area. There are also some sort of weird, like, starbit looking things in the background, which interest me a lot. You might be able to bring them back for money or something, but for now, there seems to be some kind of night mode included in the game, which I'm really, really excited about. All in all, Pikmin 4 looks like it's going to be a really interesting game, and I'm super hyped for it. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe, because it would help me out a whole bunch. But with that said, this has been a pretty short and sweet trailer analysis, but it's over now. So until next time, this is Shoot Kapow, over and out.